We decided to build a bus ourselves. Big part was just that we couldn't find anything that we felt fit well for a family. I looked at a bunch of different motorhomes and a bunch of different things kind of in that world, but even at any price, there was really nothing that would fit a family of our size with the needs that we had. So just ended up landing on a school bus because it was made of metal and a medium I was comfortable working with to alter.
And we could customize it ourselves. That was a big deal, is we could make it our own.
We raised the roof 16 inches. All the windows are dual pane RV glass windows. We custom fabricated the door and had the glass panels made by a local glass shop. We built a custom 32 kilowatt lithium battery pack out of prismatic cells and have a integrated BMS. The other thing that is built in that you can't really see at the moment is there's actually 4 heating mats on the bottom of that tray for the batteries. There also is a passive fire suppression on the ceiling of this bay. And the idea with the fire suppression was that if we had something going on in the battery bay, that we would basically buy us time. As we move on back from the battery, we're getting into our main bays, at least on the right side here. All of our mechanicals are built in under the bays. Water tanks are stacked in between the frame rails. And then I built the frames to suspend them from the frame itself in between the frame rails. They have heating mats on them as well. The LED lighting on the ceiling throughout the bays is really handy. Even at night, if you're going in there, it's well lit. You just flip the door open, turn the switch on, and we have a gray water drain on the right side, which is not typical of most RVs. We basically, the gray drain line comes back and tees and goes to both sides. This allows us to dump off the right side or the left side. So been a few times that we're coming in or going out of different parks that are kind of a one-way dump station, and we can just kind of pull in the wrong way if that side is empty. So that's pretty handy. We have our mini split is built in behind the wheels. Mini split is hanging on a custom frame. It can be disassembled and part of it can come out to be serviced into where the lines and the electrical and all that is. So as we move back, obviously we have the engine transmission, the Caterpillar 3126, 230 horse, and an Allison 6-speed transmission. Trailer hitch, as we both have a 2-inch receiver and a full pintle hitch. Again, that's got the electronic brake control. So, we have an equipment trailer that we've moved around, towing, almost 15,000 pounds behind the bus. Has been pretty good in that respect. We did add lighting to the engine bay. I figured if I'm gonna have a breakdown, it's probably gonna be at night. And the last thing I want to be doing is crawling around with a flashlight, not being able to see anything when I'm dealing with that type of a situation. When we get over to the left side, where our generator and propane cabinet is where the original bus batteries were. And they were relocated over here to the right side, giving us all of the space over there to add the custom cabinet for the generator and the propane.
Going into this, we really didn't have an end point. We hear a lot of people, 2-year plan. We're gonna travel for 2 years and then we'll find a place and settle down. We didn't set our expectations. We kind of just let it be open. And I'm really glad we did, because we still don't know what we really want.
If it works for us and we enjoy it, then we'll keep doing it. And if we don't, then we'll change.
No.
Starting on the left side in the back here, we have the generator and propane cabinet. Entire enclosure was built from scratch. As we go up the left side, you're gonna see the RV style drain for the gray tank. Then we also have the 50 amp shore power in. This entire door frame actually was removed from the bus. And if you look below the door, there's actually a gap. And we raised the door frame when we did the roof raise to account for the floor. It looks a lot nicer and it's not exposing all of those layers to moisture intrusion from the door frame. Water bays have heating tanks under the gray tanks, and there's a ceramic heater in the water bay. Over here, we added a truck box off the shelf. I couldn't find anything that was the exact dimensions that we had to work with, so we ended up building custom boxes around the off-the-shelf unit. On the front, it's predominantly as it came, other than the headlights. We did conversion kits in the headlights. That's been really handy. It makes driving at night a little bit more pleasurable. You can see where you're going.
Before Bus Life, we both worked traditional jobs. About halfway through the build, Aaron was able to reclaim early retirement. I stayed working, and so Aaron homeschools and is a full-time bus driver, and I work and have the flexibility to travel at the same time.
Never anticipated full-time dad, bus driver, teacher being as much chaotic work as it is. It's a whole different kind of stress and a whole different kind of project to manage, but it's been really rewarding, and keep saying that like living life on purpose is why we're doing this. I only get so many years with the kids, and we've chosen that that's how, you know, this phase of life is gonna unfold. So it's been really fun and definitely an adventure. First thing you notice when you come in is going to be built into the stairs. We actually enclose the back of the steps. It allows us a family of 5 to be able to put all of our shoes in there. At the front of the bus, we added a minimizer semi-truck seat. TV's on an articulating arm that stows up against the wall. Allows us to kind of enjoy it here with the couches. Living room is kind of in its second iteration. On this side, the couch is built out of a IKEA couch. Built some different brackets to make it do what we needed it to do. Table, it folds away, which is what these armrests are part of the mechanism that it all comes out to be a family style table. We have some hidden treasures. There is a storage unit for our ladder, which gives us access to the roof. The skylight also doubles as a hatch, allowing access to the roof. The side, we have a hidden deep freeze. Family of 5, it's always necessary to have lots and lots of food storage. One of the things that we did that's kind of different is they are full depth and full extension slides. So you get more storage than is usual. And the slides that we used are heavy duty soft close. We're like an industrial type slide that really has a bit of resistance that we don't have to put anything to retain these while we're driving. The range is a full gas convection range, an oven. We have a 24-inch fridge. It's taller than usual. It's actually almost the same square footage as your regular kitchen fridge. All of the open storage and all of the pantry up here is made from the same acacia wood. It was actually countertop material, the same thing we made the table out of. I just got a couple extra counter slabs, cut them down and made all of these shelves with a nice 1.5-inch lip, which keeps all of this in place. One of the other things that's kind of unique is up along the ceiling, this ductwork. We did a mini split for our main heating and ventilation, but it is a ducted mini split. So there's an air handler above the bathroom, and the ductwork runs the entire length of the bus, creates a forced air system within the bus, which works really, really well for keeping a consistent temperature and humidity. The cold air intakes for the heating and ventilation, we put 2 giant furnace filters. So as the air circulates through the bus, it's drawn back through the furnace filters before it's heated, cooled, or just circulated in general. It's made a huge, huge difference in the cleanliness of the bus as far as like just dust being on all the surfaces, stuff like that. The lighting along the sides did LED strip lighting throughout the bus. It's all RGBW strip that is set up with smart controllers. One of the other things hiding behind these that you probably can't see is all of the wiring that runs front to back in the bus is behind these. These panels above the fridge and in the hallway is actually removable. So the outer skin in that wall is the only place where things go from left to right and up to down below. This is kind of our electrical wall. It's where all of our controls for the solar, the batteries, the residential, all the internet related items are in there. Some of the other things that are kind of interesting about bus is it was built for ultra cold weather, that we can be fully functional down to sub-zero. Some of the unique features that allow that is multiple heating sources. See, we have the ducted heat pump and mini split. We also have electric heat, which is just a, like an in the wall type of room space heater. We have a diesel heater. Having electric and having diesel as other options or redundancies is really handy and gives you a lot of versatility. One of the really cool, unique features here is our bathroom door. It's kind of a traditional door, but I built a second door frame that allows the door to both close as a bathroom door and as well as a hallway door, which is really nice because it can separate the front of the bus from the back of the bus.
Hey there, this is Justin, and please let me interrupt this video just for a moment to tell you about schoolwithsupport.com. It's a website that I created which will allow you to get my recommendations, which are changing on occasion, and exclusive discounts for all of the components you would install in your bus conversion to make it off-grid capable. Lithium batteries, inverters, mini splits for air conditioning, solar panels, and most of these products come from signaturesolar.com, which is a wholesale distributor that has the best prices and an excellent selection on all of these products. You can use the new coupon code, it's going to be a mouthful, SAVE50 mobile dwellings at checkout for an additional discount off of your order. Thank you so much for watching this video. Back to the tour.
As you come on back into the bathroom, we try to do a number of things in here to maximize the space. Sarah just had to have the hexagon floor, which comes out past the door into the hallway. It looks cool. We have a airhead composting toilet. It's got a urine diverter that runs back into the gray tanks. The door is placed right here by the composting toilet so that we can service that out the door and not have to take it through the house. Part of the other side of this wall is all built-in storage. We tried to utilize anywhere we could vertical storage, because if you can integrate the thickness of this wall, floor to ceiling, there's a ton of storage in that space that doesn't really affect, I mean, it would have been completely wasted if we had just put a wall panel on the inside, but by enclosing it and building shelves, we have, you know, floor to ceiling medicine cabinet pretty much of all of the things you could ever want or need in a bathroom. The shower is built into the corner, and one of the unique features we did here is we had the idea of a fold-away shower curtain rod. The vanity is all built out of red oak. We actually harvested this material from my mother-in-law's backyard. She had a big red oak tree that got blown down. We have a exhaust fan in the bathroom that circulates back into the heating and ventilation system.
We had family living in Maine. We stayed for almost a month, and it was just a really cool experience. It reminded me of Minnesota, where we're from, with the ocean, so that was one of my favorite spots.
My favorite as we've been traveling is probably the Badlands. It's just an amazing landscape that wasn't something that I thought was gonna be so cool, but just really enjoying being able to see the horizon and see the sunrise from miles away, and cool terrain that's out there.
I think that was one of our first national parks too, so I think it made it memorable too.
So as we're coming back into the bunk room, the kids have their bunks and originally had their play spaces underneath. About 3 weeks before we were moving onto the bus, we found out we were having a third. So one of the play spaces has been reallocated to his bunk, and now they have a community space instead of each having their own play spaces. We have some built-in drawers for the kids' clothing. Kind of gave them artistic freedom to do what they wanted to do. They each picked the stickers and colors and that kind of stuff. The washer is a matching set to the Blomberg dryer, and the dryer is what turned us on to this particular brand in the first place, because it is a heat pump dryer. So it's very similar to a mini split. It's very efficient. It only draws about 600 to 700 watts while it's running, or less. The storage underneath these, again, is full depth, and we found by doing the full depth slides, you're taking advantage of every square inch all the way back on both sides. The advice I would give to somebody maybe watching this is just take the first step. You know, just remembering why you started in the first place and continuing to take a step forward. And we had, what, at least a year of just pondering the idea before we were even committed. We were making decisions as to what we were going to spend our money on and the direction that we wanted to go with our life. And that was definitely, I think, what kind of laid the groundwork to start the process. And then the rest of it's just one step at a time.
There's many things that Aaron had the background in, but there's a lot that we learned along the way. And we're very goal-oriented people, and just seeing that endpoint and seeing where we wanted to be kept us going.
Sarah's office on this side. Under the bed, a whole bunch of storage. One of the things Sarah added is this curtain thing. When she's working back here and taking meetings, kind of allows a nice backdrop without having to stare at the clothing in the closet area. We also built a custom bedroom door. The door actually, although it looks like it just opens and closes, and it actually makes a turn. If you look at it from the bottom, you see that this is an arced door. So I ended up taking a bifold door and then changing its width and dimensions and putting it on a barn door track. It took a lot of fiddling to get there, but it was well worth it.
Thanks for touring with us today and taking a look at our home. If you want to follow along and see the rest of our journey and how it unfolds, you can find us on Instagram at North Star Journey.